also watched the Andre the Giant 30 for 30, which was very, very good as well. I like the Ric Flair one better. Though Ric Flair's fucking hilarious. And his story was probably less sad because Ric Flair's still alive and Andre died at like, I don't know, 35 or something, alone in a hotel room. It's a pretty sad story for Andre the Giant.
But he didn't die alone in a hotel room because people were like, fuck Andre. Like, he died alone because, like, you know, he was a giant and they just, like, die unexpectedly, you know?
Yeah. Andre had two interesting things about him. You know, he's such a gargantuan man. They literally say that he may have been one of the most prolific drinkers ever to live. Of any human being who's ever lived, he may be the most prolific drinker. They explain the amounts of alcohol that he would imbibe. Cases of wine would be brought into the movie set that he would
casks, like he was a king of old.
He would drink these gargantuan amounts of alcohol, and if you see his hand holding a regular 12-ounce beer, you're like, well, that makes sense because it looks like a 3-ounce beer in his hand. They put his hand next to a gorilla's hand. They're the same size. He has
And for once, you're not fucking annoyed by a random celebrity demand, right? You know, this isn't like your M&Ms are sorted by color or something. This is a man who is enormous and wants his alcohol, and he needs it in quantity that they're not normally going to provide there. That to me is like, what a reasonable demand. Less, yes, of course, get him that fucking keg. We'll open a brewery right here for him, you know? So,
and look at that pic.
Oh my God. Wow, that's a good photo.
Yeah, we'll get Woody to show the audience that picture when he gets back. They explain his
standard 12-ounce.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a Molson Canadian 12-ounce can. That guy's his poor girlfriends.
They kind of alluded to his penis size at one point. They were like, "Hey, the ladies loved him. Ladies loved him. You ever see that guy's hands? You know what I'm saying?" and so he was apparently also one of the most prolific farters of all time.
Wonderful.
They explained that he could let out these 15-second gigantic farts where he would lift his leg and just ruin the whole room with this long, rumbling fart.
Fueled by that beer, no doubt.
He would save them up, I guess. He'd let them loose in elevators or on the movie set, like the most awkward, inopportune times he could possibly come up with.
Well, it's because no one ever told him no. Like, people on the plane would like hear it and be like, "Oh, who?"
That was one of the sad things on the plane. You know, he would fly back and forth to Japan frequently because of the wrestling shows there. Long flight, I think 16 hours or something crazy like that. He can't go in the bathroom. He would have to go up near the bathroom, piss in a coffee can, and the stewardess would have to dump it into the toilet.
Can you imagine the power of a stream of 100 cans of beer going into a coffee can? Oh my God. Just everyone on the plane knows.
You only brought 2 cans?
All right, passengers. Andre's coming to the back door to the bathroom, which means we're going to take up about 100 more feet of elevation. Make sure we balance this out. Yeah. Andre, leave those pecans at the back to help balance out the weight of the cargo.
This is like, you got to think of that stream again. If you're talking to, like, if he's peeing in something, there's got to be probably a moment where he's got to transfer the stream from one to the other. And I doubt a man of his wealth and stature is going to stop. That's just going to be on you as the stewardess whose job it is today. You got to get that fucking thing swapped real quick or you're cleaning it up, right? So,
new girl's first day, she's on Folgers duty. Like, where's that? Oh, you'll see.
I guess he fathered like an illegitimate daughter, and I don't know why, but I was like, maybe she's pretty. Maybe she's a giantess.
Are you looking at the same photo I'm looking at?
Look, I just said I don't know why,
yeah.
but in my head I was like, maybe she's pretty. Maybe she's like an Amazon lady. Maybe she looks like Diana. Maybe she looks like fucking Wonder Woman over here. She looks like him. She looks
sad.
Just like him.
Same habits too. The farting and the beers.
Oh, exactly the same. Left his entire estate to her. She's been drinking it away for the last 25 years. She was a real unattractive young lady, and I don't, it's not her fault. It's not like she did anything to exacerbate the situation. You could tell she was just born with. There she is. Yeah, there she is.
Oh man, that's rough. Because like you have to like look at your dad and be like, no matter how hard I work, I'm still gonna be 6'8", or like however tall she is, and be gigantic. I wonder how big her hands are. They look pretty giant too.
I bet her clit's bigger than your cock.
Look at her. Look at her tattoo. She didn't even like joke around trying to like be feminine at all. She's two
I don't even know what to do with
tatted
that one,
up.
Kyle. That's a fucking riot. I would love. I can imagine hearing that in person somewhere too. Like that is not out of the out of the realm of possibility for having that shouted at someone. And like, imagine it was. What would be the response? Like,
well, I mean, I'm sure there's some ladies who would be on board to get fucked with an enormous clit. I've seen my share of pornography, and I've seen some big ones. Like I've definitely seen some clitorises that are like a pinky size, like some terrifyingly large clitorises.
Hopefully, God was fair and at least made her lesbian.
You would hope
right?
that, or maybe you find a guy who's just super into it. Like some guys are into weird stuff, right? I'm sure there's guys who are like, oh, I just want to suck that clit. I just want to suck that little baby clit you got, that baby dick you got coming out your pussy.
Like a baby finger.
Yeah.
You think she'd like that description in the middle of it? Baby dick.
Yeah.
I one time told a girl that her clit was like a commander in a bunker, and she really did not like that.
Really?
How did that come up? Yeah, come over here, officer. What are you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I can imagine baby's pinky as a description for a woman's clit. Her really not enjoying that. Yeah.
No, I don't think it. And it looks also. I'm just looking at this picture, trying to pick out more things. Look at the size of her hands. She's holding that pen incorrectly for one.
Look at those mitts.
That doesn't help anything.
Those are some big fat mitts, and then her teeth.
Well, she's getting them. She's got braces, right?
I can't see in this one.
Yeah, I think that or her teeth are sort of bluish green. Either one is a possibility.
They may be braces.
Well, I mean, we're looking at that anyways. I don't. Would he have this up as a photo for the viewers, or we need to describe it a little bit more? How does that work?
Yeah, he will have it up for them whenever.
Who looks like Andre the Giant.
Well, she's clearly gone out of her way to be a little bit alternative, right? She has both like chest tattoos and full sleeves on both sides, so it might be deliberate, the coloring.
And
of the
she's
teeth.
got
she's got the extended ear, whatever they are, the one with the gauges. What am I trying to say? I don't know what those are called. Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, clearly she's gone out of her way to be alternative. Yeah, there she is again. And that might be your defense if you are so like not attractive in like the kind of classical like standard definition of what a female is, an attractive female looks like. That might be one of the ways you fucking get around that, is you don't identify that way whatsoever. To kind of be like, because that's gonna be shitty. You're gonna be comparing yourself to people you will never look like and never.
That makes sense. Like she could never conform.
Sense.
There's no way she can conform to standard gender norms. I mean, look what she's wearing there. It's like I'm gonna describe it to the audience. Like all right. First of all, audience, picture the butchest lesbian you can. Okay. All right. Now open your eyes. I'm guessing she was wearing a red flannel t-shirt, a red flannel button-up with a denim jacket over it, shaved head, possibly dyed pink, right?
100%.
Definitely dyed pink. Yeah.
That's exactly what she's wearing. It's exactly what she's wearing.
She's wearing the same shirt that John Goodman always wears in Roseanne.
She looks like him. It looks like she's cosplaying as John Goodman. She just came home from work, hoping Roseanne cooked him up some good dinner. That show's back on the air, right? Roseanne has made a comeback.
Apparently, it is. I haven't watched it because I didn't even watch the old show.
Yeah,
I was thinking about checking it out because I like John Goodman so much, but I don't think it's going to be the John Goodman I like a lot. Maybe I'm wrong, but apparently it is like the most popular show on TV right now. People are watching the hell out of it.
Woody, would you mind showing the audience these last couple of images that we've shown of Andre the Giant's daughter?
Yep.
Minus the financial element of being like born into a family where your parent was like amazingly successful or something, I would hate every moment of that. It'd be like the worst fucking thing ever to be fighting your way out from a shadow of someone who you're probably want to be nothing like, but going to be relentlessly compared to. Like I'm glad for this woman. She looks she's grinning in both these photos. She's totally gone her own way in that. Congratulations to her. But fuck, that would suck. Like, especially if you're like the opposite. I mean, he is like a Viking. Like, he's this huge, like massive, like bigger than life man with all the things that go along with that. And she's a woman, and that's got to be even like fucking twice as hard for that, in that kind of comparison of what they're going to compare her to. And I mean, look at this. No one has mentioned her mother, and maybe, as you said, like this is illegitimate child. So in that sense, maybe we don't know the mother. But
Yeah.
If we do, no one said a fucking word about that.
Filthy.
Right? Because
I get that it sucks to have her body type, right? And the whole world is going to not cut you any slack. Why does it suck to be the offspring of a celebrity?
Because you're always fighting. To be yourself, you're always being compared to that of what your parent or your father or whatever that figure was. That you're always going to be compared to them as opposed to whatever or whoever you are. And that seems to me like a really fucking shitty thing to have over, like, on your shoulders from the get-go.
Yeah, nobody ever thinks like, oh, that's Jessica. She does this with her life. She does that. It's always, oh, that's Jessica,
Andre
daughter. The Giant's daughter.
Yeah.
And then every conversation is probably starting with, what was he like? What was that like? Could he really drink 1,000 beers in a weekend or whatever?
You look just like him. Double-edged fucking.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's
you're
not
gonna
good.
You're gonna catch a big mitt to the face. I think if you do that.
It'll be hers.
Can I try to slam you like Hogan? Come on.
I don't want to throw your back out. Yeah, you couldn't slam her.
Roman Reigns. Are you guys familiar with this one?
Yeah.
So look, I'm not up to speed on WWE and such, but Roman Reigns is the champion, right? He's got the Universal title right now, and he's kind of a big deal, and they care about him and such. And I guess he's a villain of some sort because they kind of boo him, and he gets up there and they boo him, and he just takes it in one last time. And by the way, booing isn't negative. Not caring is negative. You can cheer, you can boo. Wrestlers understand that as long as you're getting attention, then it's a win. Mm-hmm. And then he explains that he's going to have to put this title down for a while because he's going to fight cancer. And again, yeah. I think he might have leukemia. Does anyone?
He does.
Yeah, he has leukemia. And he looks great, right? But he's been diagnosed with leukemia. He's been getting it checked up on a regular basis, and he's come back.
It's been like 10 years or so. Yeah, he's not a bad guy.
Okay.
He's a good guy. In fact, he's like the best guy. Just like John Cena. I remember when I first started going to wrestling again, 5-6 years ago, I went to a wrestling thing and John Cena got announced. And I was like, oh, everyone loves John Cena. And the boos were insane. I was like, why is everyone booing John Cena? I thought like he's the good guy. Mm-hmm. And my friend there was like, it's like lame. Like when remember when like Captain America was like, hey, language to Tony Stark?
Right.
Like playing up the whole lame thing, even though Captain America's like the fucking man. Like, he's, like, lame, and he always wins. Like, Superman always wins. Mm-hmm. John Cena was, like, the Superman of wrestling, and when the McMahon family has it selected who they want to be, like, on top, no matter what, they remain on top. And, like, people don't like when someone's wrestling someone else and no matter what, they're going to win. And Roman Reigns has just been, like, he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's been like headliner at WrestleMania like 6 years in a row. So people don't want to be force-fed something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to be force-fed someone that they know is a product. And even though Roman Reigns is an excellent wrestler and phenomenal, they always had him win. So other wrestlers who were very popular amongst the fans, WWE would be like, oh, great, now we'll just have Roman Reigns beat him, and that'll be good for Roman. But it never worked that way. And so the resentment built up. And then just a couple weeks ago, he announced that he's been, battling cancer, I think, for like 10 years or something. And now it kind of puts him with that whole dynamic that you just brought up and the ring. It's like, I almost feel like he's set up for like a fucking magical 30 for 30 as well. Something like what Ric Flair had. You know
or maybe
what I mean?
He's just kidding, and they're going to introduce a new character called Leukemia. And he's going to face off with him at WrestleMania.
I don't think it's a scripted bit, but you can't be too trusting.
Yeah,
you never know. The leukemia returning could be a bit.
There's literally shots of him getting chemo in the hospital on YouTube.
They're devoted.
I'm sure that's steroids. Don't worry about that. He's going to need those in the cage. All right.
He takes it by IV. He gets steroids by the pint.
The
ladder only
match.
Wrestling scene that I've laughed out loud at multiple times is that Shockmaster one that O&A made fun of, where they try and make the Shockmaster into a thing, and they go, "He is the Shockmaster!"
Oh,
and they have a little boom, and then he comes through and trips on the 2x4. His Stormtrooper helmet falls off, and he immediately has to scramble.
Stormtrooper helmet with like glitters on it.
Yeah,
it's just got glitter on it. He's got like a big like Jon Snow vest. Just a fur vest on, and the guy's overweight. He's not He's not in good shape.
You're just like, even if this worked out perfectly, this is a mess. Like, even if he didn't fuck it up, as far as I'm concerned, he just saved them a whole bunch of money from going through that nonsense.
He comes out and trips. It's so fucking hilarious. Yeah, I think that the actual wrestling is a little corny for me. But like, I don't know. When I go back and I watch that clip of Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant, like, oh my god, like he's picking that gigantic motherfucker
That
up.
guy's huge.
He was like 600, 700 pounds or something nutty at that point in his career. And I know Andre's legs and knees have basically shot. Like he can barely walk. And he's going in there to like, I watched Andre's 30 for 32. It was very good. Like just from his humble beginnings and to like, to the point of his career that had gotten kind of rough, where he's touring around and doing stuff he doesn't want to do. And obviously when he played in The Princess Bride, like all of that shit, it's really good. I like those are some of my favorites. I like Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair is my favorite, and The Rock. The Rock was so good. There's a reason
The
why
Rock's
The Rock.
incredible. There's
broke.
You should
How
watch that
did that not
Andre
make
the
it-
Giant documentary. By the way, you guys should check it out. Whether you're into wrestling or not, watching the Andre the Giant documentary, just as good as the Ric Flair one. And he was so proud. And by the way, he's like so gigantic, and he had a crazy temper, and he would yell at people, and he would also scare them to prank them. And he fucked with other wrestlers. Like even the year that Hogan beat Andre the Giant, Hogan went through the whole thing with him, and it goes, yeah, at the end here, and he said it to the camera, Hogan's like, even if it says Andre loses, in the ring he decides. Like it's his call no matter who you are. And he was like, and I remember that day, he didn't tell me. I kept going, so then I pin you, right? And Andre was like, we'll see at that time. And Hogan was like, I went into it, I didn't know. He's like, when I pinned him and it went to 3, he's like, I didn't know it was going to go to 3. He's like, I had no idea that he was going to do it. I thought at any point he could have threw me off, put me down, and pinned me. And he's
Imagine
like, and
being
that's
like
just the way it went.
6'7" Hulk Hogan, a monster of a man, being like, this other guy, he's making the rules in there. Like it doesn't matter
again,
how much
another
I try,
outlier.
he can just one hand press my whole body off and then just like burp a sonic boom at me and knock
and
me
he-
across the
he-
ring.
Did you
apparently
guys see
thought- he
Forrest
thought Forrest
Griffin
Burst was
grapple
hilarious.
against Shaquille O'Neal?
Amazing.
It
So
happened-
Who
it-
grappled against Shaq? I missed the first part.
Forrest Griffin, he was the 205-pound UFC champion. And it's pretty neat to see just what happens when a skilled guy goes up against an enormous guy.
There's just no way he can beat Shaq. Like Shaq's just too big, right?
Yeah, I thought he was going to beat him, actually. And I think he was trying. Now, it was only grappling. It was no striking or anything. But I got the impression Forrest gave it his all, and he just couldn't get it.
Have you seen that clip of the Mountain sparring with Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
Where it's like at any like Conor gets him with a few, and at no point is the Mountain ever like, oh man, Conor McGregor's coming at me. It's just like a giant cave troll of a man ambling at his own speed towards Conor as Conor's like a flea jumping.
yeah,
around
Connor's moving so fast. I know that scenario where it's just like you got to get hit a whole bunch of times because it's like I only have like play or kill. And it's like you're fighting right now and I'm playing, and so you're hitting me a whole bunch, but if I start to fight, like then you're dead.
Yeah.
And like so it's like trying to catch like a rabbit in the backyard at my size is just like, God, I hope I don't kill it.
So I followed
So no
this a
matter
lot.
what.
Conor McGregor went out there saying he won. He's like, did you see me? I beat the Mountain. I was great. The Mountain, he couldn't handle my speed. He couldn't handle my moves, et cetera, et cetera. And they talked to the Mountain about it. And he's like, Conor was preparing for a fight, and it felt irresponsible to hurt him. And so the Mountain was just sort of letting Conor bounce around.
Well,
and
it's the same way.
The
Like
Mountain
if
could
like my
break Conor's
10-year-old,
arms.
if my 10-year-old cousin is like boxing me, and like at the end, my cousin's like, I beat him real good. I'm gonna be like, yeah, you did, buddy. You showed me what for. You got me good. Like that's the equivalent of Conor being like, yeah, I took him down. I'll do it again. Watch me. I got 2 knocks. It's not for nothing.
I mean,
Kid,
What is that?
now,
Can that be real?
that looks
Wow.
photoshopped. Is that too?
I don't know.
is she genuine? She must just be a tiny person too, because I know he's
He's
7
leaning
feet.
over to make himself
Still.
small.
Can you go back to the picture with the jorts? Those would be pants on me, right?
Yeah. They
Oh,
would
yeah.
pants on us.
Those would be Gene Co's on us.
Yeah, those are
Like-
Janko jeans for sure.
She could fit in that pants leg, her whole body.
Yeah, that could be a sundress for her.
That's a sleeping bag for her.
What a
Shaquille O'Neal
gigantic
is
human
giant. Have you guys ever met Shaq?
I have.
No.
Yeah, he's so much bigger than you think. Like he's big. He
You
was
met
at,
Shaq? How has this not come up?
He was at
What?
MLG Raleigh.
Woody, I met Andre the Giant.
Really?
An even bigger Shaq.
I met him in an airport, and I remember shaking his hand and just being like, it just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a child at the time, but it was, I couldn't believe there was a human being that was just walking around Earth. And I also remember thinking, I'm so glad I'm not flying on his plane. Because
Oh, he's
He probably
known
has to
for his
sit in the
gas.
middle
where's he sitting?
with your
He
like
sits up
right
front.
next to you. Yeah.
He sits up front. He'd have to they get out like a bucket for him to piss in. You ever see that? I'm trying to find it, but there's a picture of him holding like a can of beer. Here it is.
Oh yeah.
Like look at his hand holding this fucking can of beer.
A normal can of beer, a 12-ounce can of beer, and he would do like drinking feats.
Well, not even that. It was just his normal drinking was extraordinary. So like he was getting a ride somewhere, like and in the back he drank like 30 or 40 beers on the way there.
He would drink like 8 bottles of wine at dinner.
Yeah.
That looks like a V8.
That's
Man,
So you can imagine how fast he'd go through those. He's just sipping them down.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh,
All of
no.
you guys a question. Your ideal size, because I would never want to be that big.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Mhm.
what's the
I think-
ideal size for you?
I think 6'3" or 6'4"
6'4"
is perfect.
Yeah, 6'4" is
Yeah.
definitely the ultimate height. You get taller than 6'4", and you start lending yourself to looking very gangly and like some weird
Like
proportions.
6'4", like a lean 205 would be sort of ideal. Like if like
think
strong.
I feel like people have gotten taller in my lifetime. So like at my age, I'd say 6'2" for my generation and 6'3" for the next one. Or
He's 6'3",
Mhm.
and he's half Jewish, half Asian, so that doesn't make sense at all. It's like 2 negatives made a positive.
Wow,
Mm.
he's rarer than midgets.
Yes, a tall Asian Jew is like, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, right.
I mean, as a
Don't even try to
performer,
find a problem on his taxes. You
I had a
won't-
hockey teammate once.
Here's what's crazy: a tall Asian Jew who's bad at math.
Wow.
He's a novelty.
That guy's an anomaly. Yeah, I had an Asian hockey player teammate with a giant dick on my team.
What?
We all shout together. Yeah, it was you just fucking hanging dong as Asian as could be.
Dude, Asian hockey player already. You're in. Oh,
He was
wow.
good too. He was one of our best players. Dude, this guy had everything going for him.
Stripper in college. And so I would go watch her dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so because I would tell her, after you do a lap dance for somebody, come over and give me their money. So she would take the money and come over and sit on my lap and pretend to give it to me. And the guys would fucking fume. It was such a fun thing for me. I look over and kind of wave to them because, you know, they're following. They're like, that girl likes me. And then she walks over and sits on my lap and puts their money in my pocket.
Yeah, it's like LARPing as a pimp with none of the risk, none of the, the
I don't think it was
hubbub on the
LARPing.
street corner. Well, he said
It wasn't-
pretend. She is
wasn't
at the end of the day. At the end of the day, she is a stripper.
I think he
She's not
kept
giving
that
him the
money.
It's
Oh, yeah,
funny
pretty
when you
well.
look back on your life and remember the day a kink was born.
That's right.
So you were just buying food with sweaty ones.
But by the way, that strip club. Yeah, you didn't lick your finger before you touched those bills. That strip club is where I saw Woody. How old are you guys?
51 over here.
Okay, so
33.
what do you remember the cherry pie video?
Yes.
Warrant.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
Okay, so we saw Warrant, Firehouse, and one other band in San Antonio, and Warrant was closing. And what was his name? Janie Lane was
Not good
the
at that.
lead singer. But he said they were closing with cherry pie. He goes, hey everybody, meet us over. The place was called PT's in San Antonio. Meet us over at PT's. My girlfriend Bobby Brown is dancing. Nobody stuck around for the last 2 songs. People ran out of the venue because I had been to PT's before. I'm like, that only fits 200 people. I've been went out of here. It was pretty amazing.
You want to get your mustard?
Damn, Bobby Brown.
I wonder if he
I don't
got
know who that is.
paid to pimp the strip joint.
I
asked because it happens now to UFC fighters a lot.
What do you mean?
They'll do an after party after their fight, and they get paid for it.
Yeah, big time.
I think she obviously got paid. Yeah, that.
Yep. You can tell. Wrestling used to be legitimate entertainment. I feel like some of those characters that were created back in the day, like the Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah! He's slapping to that Slim Jim. He's got them glasses on.
Can I tell you? The best thing I've ever seen of Randy Savage? Someone did a compilation video of every time that guy takes a breath. And it's incredible. It's like, ooh, yeah, I'm at the boiling point. And then it just shows him going like, and it's like all these cuts of him like taking like breaths. His veins are popping out. It's amazing. You got.
He was such a show.
I'm not sure what the title is, but it's a great video.
He's the Macho Man Randy Savage. That guy was fucking hilarious. He was a great entertainer. I liked watching him. The Rock was really good. That's why The Rock transcended wrestling and became such a great movie star, is because he would get in the center stage and pick up that microphone and he would entertain the crowd. He would talk great smack against the guys he's going to beat up. He would tell jokes. I've seen him get out there with guitar and sing songs. He's just very talented, and you could really get behind him. And he had catchphrases and the people's elbow and can you smell what The Rock is cooking? And it was great.
Steve Austin
I love
too.
Steve Austin was good. He went for a different demographic though. He's that beer guzzling redneck big old good old boy kind of audience, and they love that shit. I saw Steve Austin a few months back. He was in my town. They were filming some kind of reality show. I don't know what they were doing, but we saw him at a restaurant. He's a big dude.
Funny.
I'm curious about, because you watched wrestling as a kid. Did you always know it was fake, or did you kind of pick that up later?
I think as a 4-year-old, I thought it was real because, like...
Because you're 4, yeah.
Yeah, and they would, 4 or 5, and they would have these, like... If you watch... I don't even know what the programming's like anymore, and as a 5-year-old, I don't know what I was watching, but they would have, like, these long segments where they would interview the wrestlers, and, like there would be no fighting. There would just be them talking for long periods of time, and oftentimes they'd be wearing masks or makeup. You know, it'd be like Sting or some luchador motherfucker, and, like, as a kid, you're like, all right, it's like a Power Ranger or something. All right, okay, all right, fuck yeah, he's fucking a luchador. What a badass, you know? Okay, that guy wears face paint. That's what he's about.
When I was a kid, they
Just
denied
go
it
with
was
it.
fake. Like all those things you see of like the wrestlers hitting the reporters and stuff. That was my childhood. Like it broke that it was fake, and the way that it broke, if I remember right, I was young, was they had to go on TV as either sports or entertainment. And they weren't allowed to go on as sports anymore. And that was when they had to finally just like give up the truth and say, yeah, all right, it's entertainment. And
Yeah,
but who was really believing
the
that it was
adults
true?
who were still really believing really needed to
That's
take a good look at
beyond
themselves,
Santa.
because they do that move where like you like put your hand on the other guy's head and then you just do this, and just like you can.
But there's
like,
some
we've
real
all
stuff
seen
in
the
there, too.
UFC. We know what happens when big men actually meet in a ring and start throwing down. Blood is flying rather quickly.
But blood
and
flies
a lot
in
of times
wrestling, too.
You're unconscious, broken bones, fucking, you're fucked. But these guys are doing it every night of the week. You know, we'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina throwing down tonight. We'll be in Atlanta, Georgia on Tuesday.
3 shows on Wednesday. Yeah.
What if you break
most,
your leg, Holster? I'll be all right.
I think the most damaging thing they do to themselves is just trying to pull off all the crazy stunts, and then like their off camera life of the working out and the you know all that stuff is really what kills them. I think. Yeah.
It's a
So many
really
of those wrestlers died young from, like, if you check a list, it's like some of them are like 31 years old and their cause of death is a heart attack, because some of these guys in the 80s were just doing so much cocaine and just screaming
Steroids.
at a mix of kind of immature adults and weird children every night, like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you down." It's like veins are popping, like they're starting to collapse because they can't inject any more drugs because they're just
Ric
desperate.
Flair had a heart attack in the ring. Ric Flair was one of my favorites too. Like he's not even a intimidating looking guy with that blonde hair and everything, but he's like Cadillac driving, private plane flying, son of a gun, and he had his like backup man, Dusty Rhodes. It was
Have you
all
ever seen
very.
any of the videos of like the wrestling fails? Like
Yeah.
when they introduce
mask
like a
come
new
off and shit?
wrestler and it's a complete failure, or they something goes wrong. When the Hulkster or whatever, I never watched it, but I watched the clip where he forgot his lines once when he was yelling at the guy who owns it. What's that guy's name again?
Vince McMahon.
He was yelling at Vince McMahon, and he just lost himself on one line, just yelling over and over like, "If you actually believe that I would leave this company, then if you believe that I would leave after all of this, McMahon, that you don't even know what I would do to stay." And it's like, what? Like he just completely forgot all his lines, and he's screaming about it. Oh, it's so funny.
It'd be funny if Vince was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
You're over, Hogan, and he's just screaming like him. I think Vince McMahon is a genius. That guy is hilarious. Screaming when he gets slammed by Trump. Like, there's a point there where McMahon is like, "All right, you just let me talk for a minute." Like he steps in and is like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like trying to give him a second to compose himself. And Hogan's like, "No, you listen to you. You can't actually think that I like." And he just keeps running with it, deeper and deeper. I love that.
That's embarrassing. That poor guy. Well, he's got maybe he'll be worth $140 million extra dollars soon. He won't have to do that anymore because he's clearly a little past his prime there. He's not. I remember seeing him body slam Andre the Giant though. That was awesome. The guy weighed like 550 pounds or something. He
It was a
picked
weak
him up.
slam though,
You ever
right?
seen those pictures online of that dude holding like a beer can, like a normal sized beer can?
He could put an egg through his fucking wedding ring.
What?
That guy was
It's a
massive
crazy
giant.
picture. It's like he's holding it like this,
Yeah.
like a little teacup.
He could drink incredible amounts of alcohol.
And he
like
did.
like
No shit, he weighed
enormous amount.
600 pounds.
Yeah. I love him in The Princess Bride. That's great.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a shame you get to act more.
Have you ever
Anybody
seen
want a
that-
peanut?
He apparently drank like 145 beers in one night, or 150 beers in a night at some hotel, like passed out, and the hotel staff couldn't move him because he weighs like as much as a baby elephant, and so they just like
bet
put
he
a
could-
carrier rug over him.
You think he could beat Wade Boggs' record?
What's Wade Boggs' record? I know it's baseball.
Is that a real beer can?
Wade Boggs drank like 170 beers on a
Oh.
flight cross country and then went 3 for
Yeah.
4.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's a true thing. It's a true story. He actually did.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have been. There's no way he could even fit on a plane, barely. But he could have drank that many beers easily. He would have crushed the Wade Boggs challenge.
I like Andre the Giant. I always liked him in the wrestling because he was kind of a gentle giant. Like he had a hard time being mean to people. He was like, "Well, you're a big dummy." It's like, all right then, Andre. And they had this whole thing. They had this bit where like, I don't know. It was like Andre. I think it was Andre. And he was beefing with some other wrestler, and they like disrespected the other's like father's funeral and drug the casket behind a car down the road. It was
As
all
you
ridiculous.
do.
Yeah. Wrestling's always been pretty interesting. They put on a show. I don't watch that shit,
Can
to be
you
honest.
imagine being
seems-
so mad at someone that you dragged their father's corpse to in their casket down the road like some sort of ancient war chieftain who just conquered another tribe
You'd have to be pretty angry at him.
over wrestling?
Look at. Could you show everybody this? Maybe this.
Yes.
This thing just sent us because it's staggering.
The tail of the tape.
Yes,
Oh.
7'4", 524 pounds, a 71-inch chest, 21-inch biceps. Although Hulk Hogan's biceps 24 inches. That's why I knew that. I knew he's always talking about the 24-inch pythons.
Hulk Hogan looks like a small guy in that picture, and he's huge.
Yeah, he's a big boy, 6'8". I didn't know Wow, I didn't know Hulk Hogan was that big.
Well,
6'8".
that's not true. There's no
Yeah,
way.
I don't think this is true.
Is this true?
No, Andre the Giant was like 7'2" or 7'4" or
Or
something.
7 foot flat, maybe.
No, he was taller than that because I think he was taller than Wilt Chamberlain, and Wilt Chamberlain was like 7'1".
Okay.
He had 9-inch wrists. The Hulk did.
9-inch
Hulk
wrist.
Hogan. Hulk Hogan's 6'7".
Wow.
But is he?
If you actually believe that I'm 6'7",
If you actually think that,
let me
and you believe,
one time, so you really understand.
let me just start over. Is what he's really saying.
Let's get a reset. Yeah, he's 7'4" for real. Yeah, that's a like forced perspective though. That photo, because he's standing in front of everyone. That's a literal. Unless, where is he, in the Philippines?
Well, I know what it looks like when Kerry Yules jumps on his back, and that's enough for me to know he's a giant. The guy's enormous.
There's a Reddit, and it's just called like Yao Ming standing next to things, and some of the things he stands next to are also really tall people, where you're like, wow, that puts a real perspective on, because he's like, when he stands next to Shaq looks like a decently tall guy. Like you wouldn't look at him and that it was out of control, because Yao Ming is just.
You just reminded me, when I was a kid, I used to watch the NBA. I watched the Chicago Bulls and stuff when Jordan was playing, and I always thought, I was like, all those guys look pretty normal, And then all of a sudden, I saw Muggsy Bogues come in there, and Muggsy Bogues is one of the shortest basketball players of all time. And I was like, who is that guy? Like, what is he doing? And then I remember I saw a video of like NBA players with other people. And, as a kid, I was like, oh, so they're all really tall. That's why they all look normal.
I met Shaq. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, so first, like, I heard he was in the hotel, right? And he was at some like LG gaming thing at the same time. I think he was there for the gaming. And I hear Shaq is around, and people are like, dude, Shaq's here. And then I see this guy. And he's gigantic, and he looks like Shaq, but like I was like, all right, I guess he just looks a little different on TV. And he's like the guy could easily just walk up and put his chin on top of my head, and everything about him was ginormous. Like his wrists were big, his biceps were big. He's strong. He weighs like 100 pounds more than me. Huge man. And then I realized that's not Shaq. That's like his brother or his cousin or something. Shaq comes out, and he could do that to this guy. Like, Shaq was even bigger than the guy that I thought was Shaq. And it was just like I didn't know humans came in that size. Shaq was enormous.
I think, like, right now, wrestling's in a really good spot. And I'll say this, and unfortunately, I got to dip out. But wrestling's in a really good spot right now, where firstly you have a lot of promotions doing really, really good work. Like, it's not just WWE anymore. There's WWE, there's AEW, then AEW owns Ring of Honor, which is kind of its own split off thing, but it's still very much AEW. So Ring of Honor is the promotion where like a lot of the current stars right now came from. So CM Punk, Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, right now the current world heavyweight champion in WWE, which is Seth Rollins. He came from there as well. So they had a lot of like really good wrestlers coming from that. So it's really cool that promotion continues to live on. It had a lot of problems, so it was pretty cool. Then there's Impact Wrestling, and then there's also like wrestling happening in Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling, because like the borders have just merged so much now. Where back then it used to be so separate. What happened in Japan happened in Japan. Like Brock Lesnar was the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. It was actually one of its more famous ones. Not a lot of people know about it in WWE because when he left, he went to Japan and wrestled over there and got better and became a bigger star. Then he came over and started doing UFC
commercials.
Oh yeah. Like it was really cool.
Let me ask you this:
he's like, hold on, she energy. And it's like it's just like something like that.
What do you like about professional wrestling? But before you answer, let me tell you what I don't like and why I can't get into it, and I couldn't be a real fan.
Sure.
If I were to turn it on, what I usually see is there's the backstage thing where they act poorly and sort of hype up why we're mad at each other, maybe, or what the new drama is, sort of the behind the scenes in the back rooms, the hallways of the arena. I don't like that. But I like the highlights of that because they're funny. When Booker T dropped the N-bomb, hilarious. So then I go to, I really like when they're out there and they're on the microphone and they're being very slick with it. Only the creme de la creme of that is interesting, though, because otherwise it's two guys in bikini briefs shouting at each other. And I don't like that because it's silly.
Yeah.
And then the wrestling itself, I don't like. I don't like the wrestling itself. I don't like seeing them bounce around or the ropes and throw each other. I'm not impressed by it. I'm impressed by their toughness. I understand its toughness. I'm not one of those guys who's like, it's fake. Who cares?
Yeah.
I get that they're doing physical feats.
Well, you've seen the blend enough as well, from like UFC fighters coming over to WWE and experiencing like, it's a different kind of pain. Like that's how it's always described to me.
Smacked around. But
yeah.
What do you like? Why do you?
So
there's an event. What gets you going?
Okay, so a few things, right? Because, all right. Firstly, I love the live environment of professional wrestling. It's super fun. There's really not a lot of things like it because everyone that's there is a fan of something that's going to happen on the show, so they always have something to look forward to, which is really cool. And it's just a really, really cool environment to be a part of, right? Depends on the show and where it is, but for the most part, like I have mostly gone to New York and LA, and it's been amazing every single time I've gone. So that's the experience part of like going to a live show, but like turning on the TV each and every week and watching it. And I'll be honest, I don't do it as much as I used to. Like back in the day, like when you were talking about Stone Cold and The Rock and everything, like I was watching Monday Night Raw all the time because it was so. It was awesome, but also we have to remember like our attention wasn't as pulled as it is now. There's like a freaking metric fuck ton of things that want your attention, whether it's streaming services or sports or video games or whatever. It wasn't necessarily like that back then. So that's why we were so dialed in the Attitude Era, right? And I really enjoyed it. But if you go back and watch the actual wrestling, that is going to the second thing that I really love, which is the actual technicality of professional wrestling. It is an art form. It is different. It's unique. It has its own rules and its own like methodology, and it may not make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but fuck it, man. It's entertainment. It's meant to be cool. It's meant to be fun, or just enjoy yourself. Like I know that like when I throw a person against a rope, the natural thing isn't that he's going to turn around and just immediately come back and run at me. Like I just stop in my tracks, turn around and kick the guy in the balls. That's the most logical thing to do, but it's a performance. So, you kind of go with everything. And I think that's like really where it is. Like it's a performance. I don't look at it as a fight because it's not.
Yeah.
It's a performance.
Like medieval times without dinner.
Yes, but more entertaining. And I like medieval times. Don't get me wrong.
Arguably
than medieval times. That's true.
Dude.
I've never been. I tried to go twice, and I remember I tried to go one time. You know what they fucking do? They pull up the drawbridge when the show starts.
Oh.
I wanted to go, and they had pulled up an actual drawbridge.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Like when you go to medieval times, you may like get there and be like, "This is gonna be fucking stupid." It's pretty fun. Like it's pretty,
I was excited.
Furnish game hen with your hands. And like
pop a couple edibles and just go nuts, man.
I was
great.
a child, but
I was gonna say, would you still like it as an adult?
Yes.
I don't know if I do like Cornish game hen, but they had the adults had like these old timey looking mugs of like mead
Steins.
or probably some kind of old timey alcohol, and I remember looking at those and being like, that looks so fun. Like that's because we just got like little soda cups. We didn't get to drink out of the big like horn looking things, the Steins. I guess
we went to a Pirates
plastic
one
horn
here,
Stein.
and that's like
and then a thing that holds the horn.
No, this was medieval times in fucking Branson, dude. There was not that.
Inside of the horn was a K cup, actually, or not a K cup, a solo cup, and then you take the solo cup out, and then you got to give them the horn back. That's usually how it works.
You want the horn ceremony?
They
only got
they just give you a horn that's curved, and you're like, I just have to hold this.
I still want to go. Like I'm gonna.
You should though. It is fun. It's look. My advice, because I went to this Pirates one that's close by here, and you just go get drunk, pop a few edibles, and have fun. Yeah, it's the same concept. It was Pirates instead of Knights. Same exact concept. They were all trying to do a thing. They all had colors, and one was purple, one was yellow, one was red, and then there were people cheering, and it was a pirate ship with water, and it was actually kind of cool. But the food was just utter trash.
I usually fly first class. Obviously, it's been a while since I've been allowed to fly. But the main reason, besides the fact that I always flew with 2 big bags anyway, and so like when you factor in the bags, like first class over coach was like $80 more, and you're gonna be on a 4-hour flight. It's like, I'll pay the $80 or whatever since I'm bringing 2 bags anyway, and get the bags for free with first class. But like I have flown coach for like little like hopper flights, like if it's like 2 hours or something, or like I don't know. I think Seattle to LA is a pretty quick flight. Like some little flights like that. Maybe occasionally I've gotten coach, and it's just like I'm in pain by the time we get there. Like my back hurts. It's all fucked up, and like when I finally stand up, I'm so fucking happy. Like I'm like antsy in my seat. Like, come on, get the fucking plane parked. I want to stand up. I'm tired of this shit. It's fucking painful. I'm tired of fucking being cramped in here. Like I can't imagine being 6'4" or any bigger than that. I watched that Andre the Giant documentary.
Oh
God, we were talking about him flying. I don't remember how big Andre was, but we all know he's a fucking colossal human being, 7 feet, 500 pounds or whatever.
He was about 500 pounds, 7'2", legit. Yeah.
And they talk about like him having to like piss in a trash can in the aisle of planes and having to like shit in bathtubs in hotels.
God.
And
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
right? And it's just like, man, that guy's life is just a never-ending like problem. Everything he does, like anytime he like does some normal thing where he interacts with a piece of equipment or a chair.
Right. If he was here at this table right now, the camera would be in his belly button, and it'd be a big problem.
Work. He wouldn't fit in my chair. He wouldn't fit in my chair right.
No way.
Like he wouldn't. You know, this desk wouldn't be appropriate. A keyboard wouldn't work for his fingers. Like you know how old people will get like an iPhone and they're like, "How do you touch one thing at a time?" It's like, you'll figure it out, Grandpa.
I played Mario Kart with Shaq, and Shaq, like shaking his hand, I was like, oh, like, okay, like that is the level of difference between the size of our hands. And he had a controller to play Mario Kart, and he was just like, his thumb would just cover all 4 buttons. Like, it's not a feasible way to do anything. So
I remember when I met Shaq.
He's like 7'5", legit, right?
He's huge. I don't know if he's 7'5". At that height, it's all the same to me. But he was at an MLG gaming thing, and people are like, Shaq is here, Shaq is here. And then there's like a crowd that gathers around this guy. And I'm like, oh my God, he's bigger. I knew he was big. He's bigger than I thought he was. And then it took me like 2 minutes to realize that's not even Shaq. There's an even bigger guy over there. That was Shaq.
That was Shaq's brother. He brought along to the event.
I think it might have been Shaq's brother.
Yeah,
like people
Shaq's
were saying
brother's like 6'9" or something like that.
Yeah,
Everybody's blown away, and then Shaq fucking saunters in 8 inches taller.
I do recall at the grocery store, I think it was last year before COVID really hit, people were kind of scrambling in the grocery store for a lot of supplies and stuff because there were rumors it was, spreading or whatever. And I remember going to the grocery store, and I was just getting some eggs or whatever, looking for eggs. And I remember seeing this shadow being cast over me. Like, and I'm thinking, my first thought is, who's this big motherfucker? Like, and I turn around, and there's this, I swear to God, it's a woman, and she's got to be like 6'6". The biggest fucking woman. I felt like Deuce Bigelow, and that's a huge bitch. Like, this was the biggest. I had to stop and kind of stare because this woman was fucking huge. I could have swore it was going to be like just a really abnormally tall dude, but no, fucking woman. So
I've never seen a woman that big. I've seen chicks like 6'1" and 6'2". Like, and obviously I'm aware that they get bigger than that, but like, a 6'1" chick is wild. Like, especially like if she wears heels. I like when 6'1", when really tall chicks, like some of them are kind of self-conscious about it. They always wear flats because like normally because dudes don't like a chick being taller than them. And I would always be like, I love that you're taller than me. This is awesome. Fucking throw on those 3-inch heels. Like so with like 3-inch heels, a 6'1" tall chick is like, I'm like looking up at her and I'm just like, this is badass. It's great.
I want to climb. I got to climb her. I got to.
Yeah. I'm not intimidated because you're fucking 6'2". I'd beat the shit out of you, lady.
I want to swing on you like a jungle gym.
I have a buddy of mine who's I think he's like 5'6", maybe 5'5", and his girlfriend's like 6'1". So
that's awesome.
She's into it.
Yeah, he has no problem with it. But
yeah, they're clearly both into that. Yeah. Kitty's cousin JJ is like 5'4", 5'3", maybe something like that. Little pocket fella, and but he knows how to play the game. He got himself like this tiny Japanese girlfriend that's super hot, and she's like 4'11" or something, and so they like look like the perfect couple. Yeah, like height wise, if that's how you imagine those sort of things, it's perfect. He just found himself a super tiny hot chick.
Exactly.
I was training. Dude was learning to fly a paramotor. He was huge. He weighed 450. I don't know how tall he was. He was a little heavy, but not like, the biggest body fat guy you've seen today. Like he just in the realm of normal. He was just like 7 foot and a little heavy, and he's gigantic. They put him on a tandem wing and gave him like a tandem motor, but he flew solo because he was just the size of 2 people. And his wife was like 6'6" or something like that too. And I was asking, I was like, are you guys like when you walk around town, you must be known. Like there's the ginormous couple. And she's like, yeah, especially when we bring his twin brother. So it's a whole bunch of them.
Jesus Christ.
It's a lot of tall people.
Would you rather the aliens that make first contact be robotic or organic?
Organic.
Yeah.
Me too. Why'd you guys choose it?
Because the robotic aliens may have no respect for organic life forms. They might like an organic life form, like while they might be like way more advanced than us, at least we're like both we both share that the fact that we're both organic and mortal.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a robotic entity would be literally immortal, and they might see us as like just.
Are we saying that? What if it's organic material, right? Like a carbon-based life form, great, cool. But like, what if it was tin-based or some shit like that?
Oh, well, that's a little different. Like if it's that's still organic. Like you could have a silicon-based life form.
You mean like a straight up like a robot,
we're talking about like
a Roomba? Yeah.
The Roombas
They're terrifying.
The Roombas are taking over, man. I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Yeah, if it was an artificial intelligence, or if it was like formerly organic aliens who had transferred their like consciousness into like a digital format, I feel like they have even less in common with us than like some hyper advanced like green guys. Like the green, like the people often theorize that like the little green men are going to show up and they're going to look at us like we're ants or cattle or something like that, and that could absolutely happen. But there's plenty of humans who who think cattle should live, right? Who thinks we shouldn't eat cattle. There's plenty of us who like look at like maybe they look at us like pets, and that's better than looking at us like organic life form number 3057R, exterminate. Like you don't want to deal with Didex.
The way that we look at rocks.
Robots are it's a thing like have you guys seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Oh yeah,
movie. Yes, it's like the AI in that HAL 9000 or whatever. I feel like there's no way to effectively create like empathy through artificial intelligence, or at least we don't have the capacity to. So with the robotic thing, it's like they're sociopaths essentially. There's no.
I cannot allow you to do that, Dave.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I think if they have the ability to travel like through from one galaxy to the next, I feel like that's like incomprehensible tech. So I think if they're capable of doing that, who's to say they're not capable of like fixing that problem with the
that
robotics?
Is true. I don't know if you could like I feel like that's something that I'm being hippie here. I feel like that's something that
human.
Yeah, like it might just be something with actual living organic life forms, because I don't know. I think you can like code in having something want to survive or having something want to help, but you can't code in the actual like life to life connection. Personally, but it's tough to say because there could be something so advanced, like you said, where they have that coded in and they fix that problem. But I don't know.
My knee-jerk reaction wasn't a great one. I was like, I think I want it to be organic because they're easier to kill, easier to fight. And also,
they're not fighting us. We're losing. Like, there's no.
I know. I'm headed there. And then I also thought, like, with the organics, a lot of times they take a long time to be any use. Now we're talking about aliens. I don't know anything about this, but on Earth, big animals, they all take like, 5 to 15 years to be worth a damn. So that's why I wanted organic. But like Tucker said, like, if they visit us, then there's so much more advanced that we lose. We have to hope. I like to
imagine that like they visit us and like they have no concept of aggression or war, and they're just total pacifist pussies with like a ton of technology, and like they just can't even grasp why we keep this beating their asses and taking their iPads away from them. They're just like every time they send
you can have the iPad. Why are you hitting me?
Right. They keep sending the fucking ramp keeps coming down and 8 of them come down like greetings and salutations, and we just keep running up and just fucking knocking the shit out of them and run your pockets, green man.
Dude, it'd be like Black Friday, but with aliens, like just
get
coming
naked.
up and, yeah.
Making them they show up in Detroit. They're making them get naked and do the Cabbage Patch.